Hey everyone, welcome back. Just wanted to do a nice little vlog for you and go over a few things that I'm going to work on today. But the first thing that's going to be based around is how many nesting boxes do you really need for your chicken coop? And if you decide to stick around, you will actually see me remove the nesting boxes on the back side of this chicken coop. And we're actually going to remove them because, well, I'm sick and tired of them looking like this. You can't tell me this ain't awful looking because it definitely is. These are 3 nesting boxes that we have on the back side of our chicken coop, and they are not covered up by the roof, as a matter of fact. So they are a little bit exposed. They literally give us some issue here every now and then with letting water in, everything else, because it doesn't really have this lip to cover up this little gap if we get a major downpour. And so between the chickens always just making a mess in there, and them never using these except for like 1 or 2 of these boxes, it's time we actually just go ahead and remove them. The original plan didn't even call for this right here on the back side, but because I have basically 18 chickens now, I needed to add a few more, I thought, but apparently I was wrong. So yeah, y'all see how messy my nesting boxes really are, and a lot of that is from where they really don't want to do anything at nighttime except just sit in those boxes. The sun's now starting to rise, so you now are starting to see my face a little better on the screen. But overall, all they do for those 3 boxes are just sitting there overnight because they have all this room. And I'm here to tell you that less nesting boxes is actually better than too many. Now, when I first decided to build this chicken coop, I did find the original plans on YouTube. If you're wondering where you get them from, I will have the link down below. But when I started it, I was already going through chicken math. As a matter of fact, I had little baby chickens running around, and I had 14 of them, and I said, wait a minute. According to those plans, he said it was only good for about 8 chickens. And I really said, oh no, what can I do in order to make sure I can keep those 14 chickens? And after I saw the amount of room in there, I went ahead and started doing a lot more to it. Now, I don't know if I read anywhere at the time on how many nesting boxes I needed for my chicken coop, but the plan itself, I think, said recommended for 8 chickens. And then I started going online trying to find answers to how many nesting boxes do I need for chickens. I also went online to find answers to how many square feet do I need in my chicken coop per chicken and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think I landed on something that said you need 1 nesting box for every 2 chickens. And come to find out, that is far from the truth. You actually need 1 nesting box for every 3 to 5 chickens. And if you'll come with me, I will show you why, because they all prefer using the same box. I don't know if it's because of the heat from where one was laying in it from before, or that the shape of it just gets just right, but they use those 2 out of these 4 here. Having too many nesting boxes will cost you more money and more time. I want to repeat that again. Having too many nesting boxes will cost you money and time, because what will happen is you end up having to put nesting pads in there, and once you see they repeatedly go to the bathroom in there and everything else, you will stop buying nesting pads. You'll give up on it, or at least I did, and you'll have to clean it a lot more. So I would recommend you start with too little and then add on later. I actually did the reverse. I actually built my boxes first, thinking I needed all this room to be ready for them whenever they wanted to lay, and I didn't even need that. All right, so if you are a first-time chicken owner and you're seeing this video for the first time as well, just know this: do not be afraid to actually take care of chickens, and don't think everything's got to be perfect, because here's the deal: chickens are extremely messy. I just showed you all that stuff. Nesting boxes, these things are the filthiest creatures probably on this planet for some reason, and we eat stuff from them, which is even crazier. But at the end of the day, I think too many people overanalyze what all they need in order to take care of their chickens, and it's actually pretty simple. Just start with something And then you can always add on. I've added on this watering system. I started with another watering system before. So you can always add on to stuff as your flock continues to grow larger. All right, I know this is not the best angle to show you all this stuff, but with the sun shining in directly into the lens, it's kind of tough with this whole area being really tight in the first place. But I'm gonna do my best today in order to save everything I've got right here. That way I don't really have to do anything or go get more wood. I'm gonna try to cut out what I can and use everything right here. I do know I'm gonna need to put up another stud in order to make sure that I have something there to make sure this is nice and flush. All right, we got this off. That's step one. Getting this, we might end up using this to make this thing nice and flush again too. Step two, in case you're wondering now, is to keep my chickens from coming out while I'm working on all this. Now here's the sad thing, this whole box, I know whenever I built this thing, actually took me about a half a day to install it and everything else. And it's gonna take me probably an hour most in order to get this thing nice and back up flush like it used to be. Well, let's see what happens. I'm gonna have to hit it because, yep. There we go, it's painted on. Well, it's painted on. Now, it's ripped off. So, this is the good stuff. This is where it actually gets easier. Trying to see if I screwed anything in on the sides. I know I got some stuff up here. I know I bolted those in up there, closer to the front, down below. But I know I got some of this stuff up here too. Well, they're painted on too. And now I got to figure out how in the world to actually hit these things to make sure the chickens don't get hit with a flying board. All right, now I'm gonna try to clean this out so I can see if I screwed anything below. There we go. There we go. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's opening up. And I can get some things closed off now. Once I get everything out. I got this underneath here. My dog is loving stirring them up. All right. There we go. Screw right here. Boom. Hard part's now over. The easy stuff's coming next. Oh yeah. Boom. Hunter mode, bud. All right, so now we got our board here. trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it work. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to take this 2x4. We're actually gonna place them right here on the insides. And then we're gonna have one right here in the middle. So I'll be able to screw into it on here and on here. I probably need one up there, and I need one down here, just to be on the safe side. Don't have to, but it's gonna be hidden anyway. Yep. So right now I've got it patched so the chickens can't come out until I cut some boards to fit this whole thing. This has got to work to keep them in. All right, so I pretty much know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to actually use this board, and I'm also going to use this other board that was on the side here for my nesting box. I'm going to cut this one off a little bit, and I'm going to slide it up, use this, and put it in here. And we pretty much have got this thing filled up the way it needs to be. Then I'll caulk it, and I can repaint it, and that'll be it. Hope y'all enjoy listening to Lucky. See that right there? Slides right in there. Move Hunter. And I will caulk it and everything else. But this is a good solid piece of wood. Ain't nothing wrong with it, so I'm going to use it. Oh. Again, it's flush down there. And Move Hunter. You want to tell everybody hey? Push that in right here. All right. So this is pretty much good to go. So here we go. We're going to see if I cut it right. Huh. No. Maybe I'll work on this side. Oh. And we got a winner. That works. Boom. Boom. Now, all I got to do is caulk, paint, and that should seal it in. So there you go. I've got it pretty much blocked off now. I'm going back to 4 nesting boxes, and I will not put studs up in the middle of it just because in case I do end up getting more chickens, I can always just yank this back out and put more boxes back in if I need to. But I don't want to ever have to do that because, again, it has no cover right here, so water can seep down into it. But I'm going to caulk it, paint it another day because I'm going to have to end up painting this whole thing one more time anyway. It's been over 2 years since I last painted it. So you might want to come back for another video of me actually painting this whole thing. If you like this video, make sure you click subscribe and make sure you come back for the next vlog.